Hello to my two-legged and four-legged viewers. I hope everyone's feeling fantastic today. I sure am. I am going to be cooking two amazing dishes in the same session, all resulting with one traditional dish called the shepherd's pie, using ground pork and turkey. Stay tuned and let's start cooking. The ground pork recipe, today I chose sweet potatoes, more so than the traditional potato, and I left the skin on some of them and took some off the other. It is full of vitamins and minerals. Also, the ground pork is lean fat. Always use the lower fat when you can. We're mixing organic beans, peas, and carrots and corn in this shepherd's pie. The second recipe is using lean ground turkey, organic butternut squash, and organic green beans. The spice for this shepherd's pie is Herbes de Provence, with salt and pepper. And for the pork, we're using an organic thyme. So I'm going to begin by frying the meat while I get the vegetables ready. This way you save time. And I have two pans for both the pork and the turkey, separate. And when you're stirring the meats, make sure to use different utensils, okay, when you're working with two different meats, because you definitely don't want to get the pork mixed up with the turkeys. I'm going to use coconut oil, the good fat, for both of them. That's typically my kind of go-to for oils. It creates a really nice nutty and coconutty, taste, which is beautiful. Let your coconut oil melt a little bit. One thing I'd like to mention is that I am not using onions or garlic in the shepherd's pie because the dog is going to be eating it with you. So we just keep out the dangerous ingredients so that there is no issue whatsoever for anybody. And again, you can use any vegetable that you want, that you have in your fridge. And the nice thing too is that you can even use them frozen. So it'll save you so much time. Now in the organic markets, any store has organic frozen vegetables, and they're just so convenient to use, especially when you're in a rush. So really, the biggest part is opening the packages and frying your meat, and then the rest just gets thrown together. Nice. Now, one thing that I actually did, because you can always add water when you're cooking the meats. So especially if it's a low-fat meat, they may not give a lot of liquid for you to cook with. So you can always add some water to it. I also saved some of the water that I boiled the sweet potatoes in. So because it's full of minerals, and of course I cleaned them first, I can also use some of that water into frying the meat up. At this point, because I think it's important to flavor as you go, I'm going to add salt and pepper to both of the meats. And yes, dogs can eat pepper. Of course, not every day in high quantities, but a little bit once in a while is okay. So just mash up the meat so that it cooks evenly. Work that coconut oil right in there. Delicious. Once it gets going, always turn it down to a simmer. Now, the interesting thing is that with the pork, a lot of dogs are allergic to chicken, sometimes even beef, and the pork is a really good alternative. Some people also use, they feed rabbit and other animals I'd rather not talk about. I mean, like, because I don't know if all these different animals should be sacrificed for our dogs. I think, you know, you can figure out how to use the common, you know, meat substance, but as you wish. You know, it also becomes very expensive if you're using exotic animals for feeding. So again, depending on your budget, your lifestyle, where you live, but my go-to is always the basic meats that we find readily available everywhere. Okay, wonderful. Let's turn that right down. This is getting going. Now let's mash our potatoes. Yes. Okay. Here's the liquid that I refer to. So I will use a little bit of this liquid to for the mashing process, because I'm sure it's going to be a little dry. Now again, I'm only using the potatoes in the pork recipe, but you can also use them in your turkey. If you know, if you want the starch or not is up to you completely. And sweet potatoes and dogs get along very well. Definitely a better starch substance than the regular potatoes. Do you know that when you eat a regular potato, as soon as it touches your mouth, it actually turns into a sugar? So we want to stay away from that, you know, just to avoid any kind of high sugar issues for anyone. So again, choosing, you know, the healthy products that are good for you just sometimes takes a little bit of learning, but this is what this is all about. We learn and then we act. And then the reaction is wonderful, and our bodies start feeling wonderful and alive and energetic. Now what I did was I preheated the oven, because of course the shepherd's pie for its final moments is going in to bake together. Amazing. Look how beautiful that is, and so easy. And again, it's up to you if you want the skin or not. That's totally your choice. You can even peel them afterwards once you've gotten the stock and the jus anyway, so amazing. Perfect. And let's do the same thing with the butternut squash. We're going to flatten it out a little bit so it's easy to spread on the cooking pan. So again, with this, we can add a little bit, but of course the squash is already quite juicy, so it has its own liquid built right in. Now again, you know, I mean, preparing butternut squash honestly is a process. So if you love to be in the kitchen and you have a lot of time, no problem. Otherwise, buy it frozen. They're already cubed for you. Super easy, super healthy, and a great price. Saves you a lot of time. Another really, really good ingredient that dogs love is pumpkin. And for people too, it's so good for the intestinal tract. So you can add pumpkin as well if you want. That's ready now. Life is beautiful in the kitchen. So basically we want to make sure that there's no redness to the meat. You do want to have it pretty much 99% cooked before it goes into the oven. So what I like to do is add the spices and the herbs, or the herbs, whatever you decide to choose. You could add turmeric. I'm using thyme for the pork, and I'm using Herbes de Provence for the turkey, because I love those flavors. And then again, feel free to add whatever you'd like. You can use nutmeg, coriander, turmeric. The list goes on. And the Herbes de Provence for the turkey. Herbes de Provence is obviously Francais, it's French, and it's a combination of different herbs that they get from the region, and it's become very popular. they use it a lot with a lot of the dishes because it's so delicious. Delicious, almost done. It's so nice when the meat is lean. There's just no fat residue. It's easy to clean up as well afterwards, and great for the body. Now, for people who are vegetarian or vegan, you can use beans, you can use tempeh, you can use lentils, whatever you'd like to eat, the tofu even. So this does not have to be, you know, just meat. You could do your meat alternatives. And by the way, dogs can eat tofu and beans. And of course, traditionally, shepherd's pie is made with ground beef. But again, using different alternatives, depending on your dog's digestive tract and your own and what you prefer to eat. Of course, pork's a leaner meat, it's whiter meat, so you might want to go that route. And let's roll. We're ready. Okay, let's start layering. We start with the vegetables, and I love using the glass Pyrex because you can always see through it. So it's always a nice cooking feature. I'll use the same utensil as I cook the pork with, since it's all going in the same batch. So in one nice layer at the bottom of the veggies. Nice. Fill it up and make it even. That's so cool. How beautiful. Now you add the meat. Now I did add, what you can do as well actually is I'm going to add a dash of salt to the veggies. That'll just let them, because we didn't add any of the herbs to the vegetables, so just a dash of salt would be nice. There could be an easier way to do this. Oh, that's lovely. And please make sure when you're cooking pork, or any meat really, that it's 100% cooked right through, okay? Oh my gosh, this is looking so good, and it smells so good. Now, our potatoes. So I'm using this, utensil because I can just flatten it out on top. This is awesome. I'll just spread it all around. Now you can take out, maybe there's an extra piece of the skin. Very, very nice. Oh, I'm so excited to try this. Okay. Oh, comme c'est joli. Regardez. Okay, that's one. Now, numéro 2. The green beans first. Wonderful. I might as well just use them all. Now our turkey. Again, a little bit of salt. Now, using that coconut oil was a great thing because I can smell the rich odor of it. The bouquet's fantastic. Absolutely delicious. Okay, wonderful. Now, by the way, for the small Pyrex, I used a pound of meat of each. Wow. Wow. How easy is this recipe, right? Oh my God, it looks so, you could impress anyone when you make this. I hope I'm going to impress my dog. Now we ready to place in the oven. Look at this. Very, very great. Roll up. fantastic. So 400, and now I'm gonna put it on broil, and that will make it golden brown on the top for just a dash. 5-10 minutes. It's time. Do you think it's time? Yes, it's time. Okay, let's pull them out of the oven. Oh my, guys, it's delicious. Wow, what a smell. Oh, yes. Oh, amazing. All right, I'm gonna grab Mimi and let's eat. They turned out possumly delicious, and I'm super excited. Mimi, I'm gonna give you the one with the pork. You like pork? Oh, I love you. No, don't eat me. Eat your food. Yalla, here, eat on the plate. Let's see you do that. Now my turn. This is the one with the turkey. I'm gonna start here. Oh my God. The butternut squash. Yalla, eat. Come. Yeah. The butternut squash makes it sweet. The turkey is perfect. And the green beans with it. You have to make this. Listen, if you've loved what you've learned today, subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more. Can I have a bite of yours? Whoa. The sweet potato rock. Oh my God. Eat. This is so delicious. Yeah, maybe I won't give you any. Eat it all.